Hey guys, Beatotes here, back with a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Zywoo mouse by Pulsar. Before we get into the video, I would just like to say that this mouse was purchased with 100% my own money, so these are going to be 100% my own words. Let's get into the video. Alrighty guys, so here we have the mouse, but usually we look at the box first, so let's do that. So here we have the box. As you can see, they have a nice design on the front. It says the chosen mouse. Born in the lab, made for greatness. Esports mouse. This is the mini size. Has nice design up here. You got Zywoo with the floating mouse right on the front here. You have the mouse, the side of the mouse here. It says the chosen mouse. On the back, it gives you some specs and dimensions. On the side here, gives you a little description of who Zywoo is. You guys can take a second to read that if you want. But let's see what's inside the box. That's what we all care about. So you got the spot where the mouse goes. But under that, right up here, you get the spot where the dongle goes. Obviously, I already have the dongle plugged in, so it's not in there. In this box, we get a cable. Normal Pulsar cable. It's white. Has the angled USB-C port here, so you can use it while it's plugged in, so it feels more wireless, I guess. We have some more goodies in here. We have the card. Gives you the specs of the mouse on the back. Quite cool that Pulsar makes these in older mice. Warranty, and I just believe like a owner's manual, just like starter's guide type thing. Nothing else in this little card holder. The weight did come included in the box as well. This mouse does come with a weight. I do have the weight installed currently in the mouse. I did want to test that out. But that's really all for the box. Pretty standard. Not too much in there. But as for the mouse here, I really, really like it. In my opinion, it's the best Ergo I've ever tried. Super solid build quality. There's no creaking whatsoever. There's no flexing on the mouse whatsoever. Let's turn it off here so we can take a look at the rest of the mouse without fucking up my recording here. Yeah, like I said, just super solid build quality. The shape's very nice. We'll get more into the shape in a second. But the clicks here, super solid. There is a little bit of pre-travel on my left click. My right click, sorry. Jesus. There's almost no pre-travel on the left click. Both feel super snappy. The Huano blue shell pink dots in here are very nice. They are my favorite switch, so it's just a positive for me. The side buttons feel very nice. They're a little harder to push than what I'm used to. They're quite similar to the Crazy Light. I would assume that they use the same tensioning and the same clicks. But they do feel nice. They are bigger. They're a little curved too. They're in a nice spot. I would like them just where my thumb sits, how I hold this mouse. I would like them a little bit more forward. But where they are, they work perfect. I like them that they're a little bit larger. They're easier to find. The scroll wheel is very nice. I believe this is the Pulsar Blue encoder. It does feel, in my opinion, worse than my Crazy Light, but that could just be like unit to unit, right? Like I don't think that's just a general thing. I think that might just be my unit. It does feel a little bit more, I want to say creaky is the word I'm going to use on the down scroll. On the up scroll feels fine. On the down scroll just feels a little creaky, but it's not something like I would call it a QC issue or anything like that. It does not affect the mouse whatsoever. It just feels less smooth than it does on the up scroll. Maybe there's like a piece of dust in the encoder or something like that. Like it just feels a little bit more scrapey. On the bottom of the mouse here, you have your on and off switch. We have a DPI button, your sensor. A lot of people were saying that the sensor position on this mouse was going to be an issue. If you look, it's a little bit off-centered. But I haven't come into any issues with it. It feels totally fine. It feels like how it should in-game. The skates you get here, they're nice big pad skates, which I really appreciate on a mouse like this with a weight inside, a nice heavier mouse. Because it does dig into your pad a lot easier when you have a heavier mouse. So with these large pad skates, it's very, very nice. quite standard Pulsar skates. They're very similar to the skates on the Crazy Light, so I would assume they use the same material. Well, it's all going to be PTFE, but I believe they're just like the same type of skate, and they use the same engineering into it. Like I said, the skates give a thumbs up for me. Like they're just nice, balanced control feel. They're not super fast. They're not slow whatsoever. They're nice, just balanced feel skate. Um, Altogether, though, the build quality and just the clicks, the scroll wheel, the side buttons, super solid. There's no complaints whatsoever. The tech in this mouse, you're getting the XS1 sensor from Pulsar, so you're getting 3950 sensor with their 8K and all their good stuff. So when it comes to the tech and the performance of this mouse, it's going to be similar to all the newer Pulsar mice. So if you've used one of the newer Pulsar mice, you're going to have a very, very similar experience here. This does have a web software, which is nice. I don't know if they're going to continue doing web software now from like the new releases from this mouse, but I believe that's what their plan is. I mean, like, I don't see that they're going to release some with web software and just some without. I do know my Crazy Light does use their downloaded software. I don't know. It's not a big deal for me, anyways. Like, usually when companies have a web software and they have a download option, I usually download it anyways. So for me, it's not that big of a deal. I would have wished that it would have been all in one, but now since there's an web software, I do believe that they're gonna start using it for the rest of their releases going forward. Let's talk about the shape a little bit. Um, in From what I've tried for ergos, I haven't tried a crazy amount. From what I tried, it's kind of similar to EC2. I used to have EC2 wired back in the day, and that's what it kind of feels similar to. It's not exactly the same. It's going to be more similar to the Vaxi outset. From what I've heard from people, what I've seen online, um, the EC2 is not going to be as similar as the outset's going to be, but it's going to be similar feeling as like it's in the same realm of ergo as each other. It does feel really good. I do believe it, like I said, it takes inspiration from the EC2. I do believe this feels really good. The mini size, in my opinion, just works very well for me because I do use Final Mouse Small, um, which is quite small. This is, in my opinion, just a small feeling in your hand. For most people, I would suggest the medium size. I would not suggest the small size for most people. If you do like small mice, go for the small size. It definitely is fun to use. I have found a nice grip where I feel super locked in with it and I don't feel like it's too small or the shape is off. It's what I was looking for when I first saw the mouse in a leak. It's just a nice bulky ergo and you just feel super locked in. And with the added weight inside, it doesn't ruin the balancing of the mouse, in my opinion, whatsoever almost. Like there's a tiny, tiny bit of back heaviness now, but with the weight inside, it just almost feels more solid and it just feels more locked in. If you guys understand what I mean from that, um, I do like the addition of the weight. I have had it in 3 days after I got this mouse, and now I've just like had it in, and I haven't thought about taking it out. I just like the feeling of it. I've been using all these super crazy light mice, and now that I have this 60, I think it's like 62 grams of the weight in it, something like that. It just feels super nice and just super high quality and just super locked in and just super rigid with the weight inside. And I know the weight doesn't add any structural integrity to the mouse, but with how strong the mouse is already and the added weight, it just feels stronger. It could just be a placebo, and I believe it is a placebo. But altogether, like the shape, I really like it. From what I've tried, I've mained the G703. I've had a G502. Like I said, the EC2 wired. I would say this is the best ergo shape I've tried. I would say it's the best ergo release of this year so far. I don't think anything really competes to this in ergo shapes, quality, what you get with the mouse, just everything all together. The two sizes, the two colors. I think just all together that this is the best ergo release of the year. Um, Other than the shape in game, it feels like I said, just super locked in. I was playing a lot of Valorant with it. I could find that I could hit headshots very easily. I find that with the shape, it feels a little bit more sluggish, and I don't know if that's because of the weight or it's the shape, but I feel like I want to flick less with the shape. With something like my final mouse small, I feel like it's just super agile, and I do believe that's due to the shape, just because of how small this thing is and how thin it is. I feel like I can just like easily do flicks, stuff like that. This, I find tracking's a lot easier. I was playing with some Apex last night with this, and I find tracking on this is very nice. You do, like I said, have that locked in feeling, so you get a better tracking experience altogether. Um, Other than that, altogether, I would give this mouse a thumbs up. I would suggest this to anybody. It's a super premium package. You get a good tech side to it. It's really good premium build quality. The coating on it's very nice. The shape, in my opinion, is very good. It's definitely a little bit different than what we've seen so far this year and the past year. It's, like I said, the best Ergo we've seen this year. I would say this mouse has a lot going for it. Um, and yeah, just altogether, it gets a thumbs up for me. I really like testing this mouse. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching the review. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.